So, you want to hear another story, eh? Well, too bad. I didn't finish the last one. Hey guys, Young Smooth Criminal. I'm back with part 2 of What If Deku was a Siren? Uh, Apparently you guys love that line so much. My entire Discord was lighting up with, you want to hear another story, eh? For like a minute or two after that was posted, so. Or was it before? Well, where we left off, they're at the test. I don't remember. I don't think I did the test, so let's start with the test. The test starts off with with Maya. And she's currently in the circle, getting ready to throw the ball. And she's like, should I throw it normally or should I do something different? And she goes, I'll use a projection. So she walks out of the circle and Aizawa goes, hey, what are you doing? Just watch. And so she flings a projection in there, and the projection picks up the ball and chucks it. And the projection can change elements from corrosive to explosive and all that. So it used the electricity for speed, and at the very end, it used the explosive on the finger to launch it even further. And Tina started jumping up and down, clapping, being like, yay, fun. And Maya walks back to her and going, no, not yet. Tina goes, but why? And she goes, we'll do that later. She's fine. And so Tina goes, she uses the Bakugo strategy of throwing the explosion at the very last second with the point of her finger. And she used her bunny strength and her explosive quirk to send it even further. And hi, Jack. Yeah, hi, buddy. My cat Jack is currently attacking me. Now he's chasing me. But so she throws it. Maya gets roughly 756.3, and Tina gets roughly 765.3. So they're not that far off. But she's just barely stronger when it comes to throwing stuff. And Maya goes, makes sense, you do have stronger explosions. And you have a stronger quirk. And Tina basically hops back to Maya going, fun. And she goes, no, after this test in school, we can do it then. She goes, but I want to try it. And plus, I fixed it to where it's only concussive force. It's not anything dangerous. And she goes, I know, but we can't do it yet. And she goes, I know. And she acts like a 4-year-old. She acts like an actual 4-year-old. While she's, I think I said she was 18. And Maya and Tina stick close together, and Bakugo stays as far away from Tina as he possibly can. And everybody's like, what? And Bakugo says, yeah, don't go near her if you want to keep your parts intact. And they go, why? And Tina is popping her explosions the entire time, watching the explosions because she loves explosions. And he goes, that's why. And Maya's standing right next to her going, Tina, stop. You're scaring them. Tina goes, but they're pretty. And she goes, I know. I understand. We'll do it later. And he's like, what are they going to do? And Bakugo finally hears what Maya said, and he goes, oh, crap. And they go, what are they doing? And he goes, have you heard of the random gunsmith that's been making explosive guns? And they go, yeah, the ones that shoot explosive bullets. And he goes, yeah, that's my sister. And Tina goes, yeah, they've been great. And Maya goes, I told you not to say that out loud. And Tina goes, I know, but it's still fun to play with them. And she goes, we will make sure it works later. And Maya's staring at her like a mother, or a kind of attitude, and just fine. And Maya says, if you keep this up, we're not going to do it later, and your mother's going to get involved. And Tina and Bakugo both pale at this. And they go, please don't, at the exact same time. And Maya starts laughing, saying, I won't if you stop talking about it. And Tina goes, okay. And so they finish the tests, and Aizawa says, okay, problem children, you can go home. And Maya goes, yes. And so she grabs Tina and phase walks all the way to Mitsuki's house. And she opens the door and says, we're back. And Mitsuki goes, did it happen? And Maya goes, and looks at Tina for a second. Tina's begging her not to. And she goes, no, it didn't. And I'm doing as I promised. If nothing happened, then I'd help her with the testing. And she goes, as long as there's no physical damage, it's going to be fine for the work that you guys are going to be doing. So I give you permission to use the workshop again. And Tina's jumping up and down saying, yay, yay. And Maya goes, oh God, why did I agree to this? And so they walk into the workshop, and Tina pulls out a gun. And if anybody knows the Torg campaign of Carnage from Borderlands 2, you know I think it's dog walking, where you get Tina's assault rifle. I think it's the dog walking. Hold on. I'll be right back. Sorry, I got the name wrong. It's the Boom Puppy. You get it from a side quest from Tiny Tina, and it's a very good assault rifle when you spec into Krieg's explosive skills tree. But otherwise, it's not very good because all assault rifles in Borderlands 2 were not that good. But let's get back on topic. So, she is pulling this gun out, and Maya sees that the barrel has changed. And she goes, oh God, is that barrel what I think it is? And Tina goes, yeah. And she's grinning like a madman, and Mitsuki's standing at the window behind Tina, watching it. And Bakugo walks in and goes, hey Mom, I'm home. And she goes, shh, they're about to test it. And she's just staring intently at the gun. And he goes, oh God. And so she pulls the gun up and she shoots it. A rocket comes out the end, blows up on Maya. A little thingy drops down and blows up again after it jumps. And Tina says, yay, it worked. And Maya got hit by the rocket directly, and she got flown back. And the thingy dropped to the ground and bounced back up to the top of Maya's chest and blew up again. And Tina's jumping up and down. There was only one round loaded. And she's jumping up and down, being like, yay, it worked. And Maya's coming out of the wall because she was blown into the wall. And she's walking up to Tina and giving her a big hug, saying, yay, it worked. And now you just need to tone down the power. And Tina goes, what do you mean? And she goes, the secondary explosion isn't needed when you throw me into a wall. And she goes, but it is. And she shoots it at a wall. And the explosion from the first thing is not very powerful. But the second thing drops, bounces away from the wall a little, and then goes boom. And it's a very big concussive force compared to the first explosion. And she goes, but it is. Watch. And she shoots it down. They feel a shockwave on their legs, but nowhere else. And the thing bounces up in between them and launches them across from each other. So Maya goes into one wall, Tina goes into the other, and she jumps out of it being like, fun, let's do it again. And Maya steps out going, oh God. And she walks up to Tina saying, Tina, please don't do that again. She goes, but that was fun. And she goes, don't do it again while it's in between us, at least. And she goes, okay. And Maya, thinking that it was only loaded with one bullet, is like, wait, Tina, how many bullets did you load in that? And she goes, full magazine. And she just starts shooting it all across, all into the room. And Mitsuki's like, aw, crap. And it has the same fire rate as in the game. Dun, 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 dun. That's literally the fire rate of all torque weapons. Except for the ogre. And any one with the Vladoff barrel. But I'm getting off topic there. So, she just starts shooting it all, and it's a magazine of 34 shots. And it just keeps going, dun, dun, dun. And you just hear boom, boom, boom. And Mitsuki's just behind the glass being like, oh God, why did we raise her like this? And her husband comes down being like, is that Tina again? And he's stretching and yawning, and she goes, yeah, it's Tina. And he goes, oh God. Well, it looks like I'm not getting any sleep. She goes, no, you're not. And he goes, is it that time already? And she goes, yeah. That means tomorrow it's Tina's. And he goes, oh, crap. Oh, it's 6:30 at my place. And they walk out of the room, and Mitsuki says it's time to Maya, and Maya goes, oh God. Can you call in for me and say that we're going to be gone the next few days? And she goes, sure. I'm going to tell them that you're testing some support items and that it's very dangerous. And if you come, they might backfire while you're gone. And she goes, okay. And Tina's like, oh, yeah, that's gonna suck. So the next day they continue testing the puppy, and Bakugo's watching the entire time. And he's just watching in curiosity and confusion, because he has somewhat of a love for explosions, but not as much as Tina. He loves explosions, and he loves his quirk. But he's not as arrogant as he is in canon. And if he ever tries to say he's better than anybody, Tina will easily put him in his place. His older sister is stronger and just knows a lot more about explosions. So we skip a week. Tina has calmed down. And they get back to class, and Aizawa asks, why were you gone? And she goes, rabbits. And his eyes widen, go, oh, okay. Well, today's the hero versus villains. And she goes, oh, it's that day already? It's going to be fun today. And she runs over to Tina and says, Tina, you can use it. And she goes, what, really? And she goes, yeah. And Tina starts hopping up and down, being super excited and energetic. And she starts yelling, my puppy, my puppy, my puppy. And everyone's like, what the hell is she talking about? And Maya goes, oh God, I kind of started that. Oops. And she goes, how many did you make? And Tina goes, I made 2. I made a version for you and my version. Your version is called the bunny. You kind of can't reload it, so you just throw it in and it goes boom. And she goes, okay, what does it look like? And she goes, oh, it's small. And she pulls out a little device and she goes, remember that technology that your sensei left behind? And she goes, yeah. I kind of recreated it, and I thought it was called Digistruct technology. So every time you throw this rocket launcher, it will Digistruct a new one whenever you put your hand in a certain place. And she goes, wait, you did what now? And she goes, exactly. And so she hooks it up to Maya's hood, and Maya puts her hand in the place that Tina told her. And she grabs midair, and it Digistructs the bunny. And she's like, holy crap, this is cool. And so she goes up to the firing range that's at UA, because there's still roughly 30-ish minutes before school, and she fires it. And the rocket goes straight and goes boom. And Tina's hopping up and down, being like, it works, it works, it works. Now throw it. And she goes, okay. How does this work? And Tina goes, you press this button, and she shows the button. Well, sorry, you can't press it, because Tina starts trying to press it. You gotta slap it. So Maya's like, oh God. So she fires the last rocket, and she goes, okay, so you said there's 2 rockets in here. She goes, yes, that's the last rocket. So slap it really hard. And she slaps it, and the thruster on the end starts going. And she just releases it. And it starts bouncing like a bunny rabbit. And Tina goes, it's working, it's working. And she goes, and what is it supposed to do? And Tina says, oh, whenever it hits a wall that is not the floor, or it hits anything that's not just the floor, it goes boom. I know that's not how the bunny rabbit works, or Tiny Tina's bunny, because when it hits an enemy, it goes boom, or it goes to a certain time. It's like a rubberized grenade from Borderlands. So that's how the bunny works. I'm changing it a little in this one, that when it hits anything but the floor, it goes boom. So, and she goes, okay, that's cool. Question. And Tina goes, yeah. Can you turn down the power on the rockets? And she just points a massive hole at the end of the hallway, and she goes, yeah. And she takes a little device and she starts cranking something down. She goes, that should be better. And she hands it back. Maya puts it on and Digistructs a new rocket launcher. And she fires, and Tina goes, oh, by the way, this takes a lot of fuel to use. So you only have no. How many did I program it to do before it's supposed to stop working? 12 to 48. And she goes, that's a massive difference. And she goes, yeah, I need to add more battery to it. And she goes, well, why battery? And she goes, well, apparently the Digistruct technology turns energy into mass, which E equals mc squared is the formula for it. And Maya goes, whoa, slow down. You're doing smart stuff again when it comes to explosions. Why can't you add this to your normal routine? And Aizawa is there to oversee this testing, and he hears her talking about all this scientific research about how mass can turn into energy and energy can turn into mass with a simple equation. And he's like, wait. Tina. And she runs over going like, yeah. He goes, can you tell me the concussive force from a pound of C4? And she goes, yeah, that's easy. And she says the entire equation, solves it immediately in her head, and goes, that's the force. And she says the amount of force. And he goes, why can you solve that but not what 10 times 10 is? And she goes, I don't know. And she starts thinking about what 10 times 10 is, and it goes, it's 1,000. And he goes, no, it is not 1,000. And Maya starts laughing her ass off, being like, this has been Tina ever since we started school. You tell her what the equation for explosions are, and she absorbs the information like a sponge. You tell her that it doesn't pertain to explosions, she lets it go in one ear and out the other. And she goes, okay, Tina. And she goes, yeah. If you had 10 explosives. And she goes, yeah, 10 explosives. And 10 groups of those 10 explosives. How many explosives do you have? And she goes, that's easy, 100 explosives. And she goes, there's your answer. And Tina's like, what? What's your answer? And she goes, you just solved 10 times 10. And she goes, I did? How? You just gave me an equation of 10 groups of explosives with 10 explosives in each. Oh! 10 times 10 is equals 10,000. And she goes, no, Tina. It equals 100. 10 groups of 10 explosives each is 100 explosives, right? And she goes, yeah, that's simple. And she goes, 10 of a group with 10 items in each group is 100. Like how many explosives there are. And she goes, yeah. She goes, there we go. She turns to Aizawa and goes, if you can't put explosive at the end, she can't learn it. Apparently. And then she starts singing a song. Ring around the sadness plant, Stalker chased the bandit, Stalker thought it was on fun, pop goes the bandit. And she just keeps singing that over and over, and Maya is going, oh my god, not that song again. And and Aizawa goes, what do you mean not that song again? And she goes, she's thinking of a new gun. So she has the bunny, which she just called this little device the bunny, and she attaches it back onto her hood. And she goes, she has the puppy, and she points the gun on Tina's back, and now she's thinking of a new gun. And he goes, I have it! The name! It's the teapot! And she goes, oh god, what does the teapot do? And she goes, it makes an explosive of acid. It's an acid explosion. And she goes, oh god. So Tina goes to the support course classroom and basically scoots May out of the way and says, I'll help you explode stuff later. And she starts putting stuff together. And she pulls out a normal Glock 18. She puts it on there and she starts tinkering with the bullets. And she starts tinkering with the gun to fire the bullets so the bullets don't eat away at the gun. 10 minutes later, she runs over to Power Loader and says, can you paint this part pink and this part white? And he goes, sure. And he does. And so she has a pink and white teapot. And she runs back to Aizawa as fast as possible. And it's been like an hour. And she goes, the teapot. And he goes, what does this do? And she goes, if you fire it, it makes an acid explosion on the target. And it'll eat away armor. And he goes, okay. And she goes, armored target, I brought one. And she has one of Power Loader's gauntlets. And she runs over to the end of the hallway, puts the gauntlet down, and runs back. And Power Loader's like, wait! Aizawa's already in firing position, goes, sorry, it's Tina's test. And he goes, oh crap, I can't stop her now. And so he fires it, and it fires in a burst. He goes, was that supposed to happen? She goes, yeah, it's supposed to burst. He goes, okay. Anything else? And she goes, wait. All of a sudden, they see the hole start to appear in Power Loader's gauntlet. And she goes, there's not enough explosive in that. So she takes the magazine out of the gun without touching the release pin or the release button for magazine. And he goes, I don't think that's safe. She goes, it's perfectly fine. And she starts tinkering with the bullets again. And she puts just enough explosive so it goes like you see in the corrosive bullets from a Kuroda corrosive gun in Borderlands. So she puts it back in and goes, fire it again. And this time he fires it at one of the metal walls. You're like, it's not going to eat away that fast. And she goes, you better not aim it at a wall, because her acid is very strong. And Tina goes, right. And she runs over to Power Loader and takes his other gauntlet from him. Goes, I'll make you a new one that explodes. And he goes, okay. And she runs back. She puts it down and she goes, fire away. And she's like 10 feet away. And Maya goes, oh, God. She knows the exact blast radius of these bullets. So just fire. And he goes, okay. And he fires 2 bullets out of the 3 that burst. Hit the power gauntlet. And then it was on a metal stand. The 3rd bullet hits the metal stand. All 3 of them explode on impact. And the metal stand immediately starts to corrode away. And she goes, explosives makes the acid better. And she runs back, takes the teapot and goes, mine. And Maya goes, oh, God. And she looks at Aizawa and goes, thanks for helping us. Now we have a bunny, a puppy, and a teapot. What's next? A flacker? And she goes, ooh, I like that one. Maybe I'll make Dad do that. And she goes, no. No. He already has the unkempt herald. And Aizawa goes, what do you mean the unkempt herald? And she goes, he just called it the unkempt herald, but whenever you fire a bullet out of it, it has a very slow fire rate for being a semi-auto handgun. But whenever you fire a bullet, it splits into multiple, and the further away it gets, the more it splits into, and the more explosives it sends off. But they're not big explosions, they're armor-piercing explosions. So if it hits you in the chest, it'll leave a hole. A big hole. For being a small bullet. And he goes, okay. Where is it used? And she goes, there's only one in existence, and he keeps it on him at all times. What else has he made? And she goes, oh, he made the ogre. And she goes, oh, God, no, don't bring that up. And she goes, it's cool, though. You start shooting it, and it revs up in its speed, and it starts shooting faster and faster and faster, and it shoots only explosive rounds. And he goes, oh, God. And she goes, yeah, it's cool. And they start discussing guns that this family has made that are strange. And the bell rings for class to start, and he goes, don't worry, you're fine. I'll tell you later. And this is past the science class, because Tina doesn't go to science, and literature class, because Tina and Maya don't go to literature. This is now the hero studies. They were there for a good 2.5 hours. So they have 3 hours in heroes, lunch, and then they have 1 hour of the last one, which Tina never goes to because she's normally in the sport course classroom with Mei Hatsume blowing stuff up. Or not blowing stuff up, with Mei trying to not blow her babies up, quote unquote. And Mei promised to let Tina blow something up of hers while she's trying to max it out once every time she helps. And the more explosions that Tina can see without making them, the better she thinks. Because she's spreading the love of explosions to more people. So more people will blow stuff up and have fun with her. But that's not actually happening. Mei's just using her so her inventions don't go critical and she can improve the things without getting a setback like an explosion. So. Oi, stop digging up the grass. Leo, stop. Bad Leo. So we go to the hero course, and All Might goes to the door, says, I'm walking through the door. like a hero. And yes, I've finally figured out what he actually says. and Maya is like on your left, and he looks to his left and he sees the siren Maya and the hippity hoppity Tina behind her, and he sees that Maya's already in her hero outfit, and he goes, well, you're ready for the activity. And Tina goes, yeah, explosion. And Maya goes, yes, we will see some explosions. And Tina goes, fun. And she whispers into All Might's ear, if you don't put me on her team, we're all screwed. And he goes, okay, I'll make sure that happens. And he goes, time to draw lots. And he fishes his hand into a certain box, and he puts his hand all the way to the bottom, where he was told to have another box underneath that only has Maya and Tina in it, so they could guarantee be put on the same team, because if that doesn't happen, something bad's about to happen, and he doesn't want that. So he pulls out Tina Bakugo. And he fishes through and fishes through and fishes through. And he pulls it out and it just says, Maya. Because no one knows what Maya's real last name is. And the masked man who left, which Maya thought was strange that he had a mask on 24/7, he just left. So she's like, okay. Oh, and he had a hood on 24/7 too. So if anybody's played Borderlands 3, you'll know exactly who that is. So, let's get back to it. Maya runs and hugs Tina going, yes, it's us. And Tina goes, yeah. And she pulls out the puppy. And she's just holding a gun in her hands. And they're all like, you can't use a gun in this course. She goes, but explosions. And Maya goes, you can use that gun. And she's giving the death stare to everybody who said that she can't use a gun. And she says, this gun is non-lethal. And they go, oh, okay, you can use it. And everybody's backing away from Maya because they feel this pressure from Maya. And Tina's like, yeah, I can use it. And everybody's like, oh God, what are they? And Bakugo starts laughing his ass off in the corner, as far away from Tina as possible. And they all look at Bakugo like, what are you laughing about? And he starts laughing even harder because they're all looking at him terrified. And he goes, oh, you should see the bunny that they just made. Oh, and the teapot. And Tina pulls out the teapot. Goes, yeah, it's cool. You want to see it work? And Maya puts it down going, not now, later. And she goes, fine. And so she puts the teapot away in a holster. And she takes the puppy and puts it on her back with the sling. And Maya goes, okay. So we're probably going to be first. And at that moment, All Might goes, Katsuki Bakugo and Ida Tenya, you are the heroes. And then Bakugo goes, yes. Now, which extra am I fighting? And he goes, your challengers are the villains, and they are Maya and Tina Bakugo. And he pales and goes, oh, crap. And Maya starts laughing her ass off, being like, you just called us extras, didn't you? And he goes, no. And Kirishim's like, oh God, what are they about to do? And she's like, which element should I use on you? And he goes, none of them. And she goes, oh, kinetic? Okay, I can do that. And he goes, oh, crap. And so she starts getting a blue glow over her entire body. And instead of normal Maya, who only has markings on one side of her body. She has marking all over her body. And so she's like, Tina, I'm sorry, but I don't need the bunny this time. And she goes, I know, but at least you still have it. And she goes, yeah. Here's the bunny. You get to use it. And Tina goes, ooh, really? I get to use it? And she goes, yes, but you must have it at a low setting, and it must not be on lethal. And she goes, done. And she flicks a dial down one level. She goes, low setting, non-lethal, got it. And Edith's like, oh, thank God it's not lethal. And she goes, click. And he hears the click and he goes, wait, what? And Tina goes, just making sure. Do you see it's on non-lethal? And she goes, yes, it is on non-lethal. And I'm glad that you made sure it was on non-lethal. And Tina goes, yeah. Are you using the yellow one or the black one? And she goes, for Ida, I'm thinking on the yellow one. For Bakugo, definitely the black one. And she goes, oh, what did Bakugo do this time? And she said, he called us extras. And she goes, no. Me? Maybe. You? No. And she goes, oh, that's cute. But us? No. Him? Yeah. And Tina starts laughing. And everybody hears this maniacal laughter. And Maya just smiles at this because she never hears Tina laugh unless it's something funny. And she loves Tina's laugh. So, we go to, when they're placing the bomb. So, so the phase grasp is when Amara uses one of her phase hands, because she has hands instead of a normal phase ability. She uses one of her hands and grabs something. So I'm giving her the ability to use one of the hands and move something into another area with the portal that the hand came out of. So that's what I'm giving her. And yes, someone did comment about the phase shift from Angel and Tannis in the new one. Sorry, that's a spoiler for the game. But no, I am not giving her that because she only gets phase walk, phase grasp, the one where she sends out a projection of herself to move for her, and the phase slam. That's all I'm giving her because I'm kind of making her overpowered with the ability to use every element at once, and the addition to her being able to use the elements on her own body. So I'm kind of making her overpowered in that sense. So she can channel any element on herself. When she taps something with the green, with channeling a green color, she can erode it with the oxygen around her, because everything is eroded with oxygen unless it's a tree. But then you kind of kill it with over oxygen. And the explosive, all she needs to do is tap it and then it goes boom. The kinetic is just tap it and it feels like you just gotten sucker punched. So when she punches, you feel like you gotten hit by a bullet. Electricity, taser when she taps you, but when she punches you, even more. So Kaminari's 2 million volts, kind of. Fire, you get touched by the sun. No, you get touched by a fireplace or a blast furnace. In between those. So electricity, cryo is one that I haven't covered. You get touched by liquid nitrogen. So that's important for later. The fire and cryo are important for later. So, did I miss any? Oh, radiation from the new Borderlands. Well, nothing's going to die, so nothing's going to explode. But So she has all the elements from the Borderlands games, including kinetic. So her tattoos start glowing blue because she activated them. And then they start glowing black. And she goes, "You ready, Bakugo?" And she's cracking her knuckles, getting ready for a fight. And Bakugo's like, "Yes." And he's squeaking, being terrified of Maya. And I was like, what the hell happened to the cocky personality of Bakugo? And she goes, "Time to beat the angry Pomeranian into submission." And she says this, and everybody starts laughing because Maya isn't outspoken very much. But when she is, it's funny. She was born to not speak ill of people. And then in Borderlands 2, she's a freaking killer. Yeah, she was born on the planet of Athenas. And she was raised as a pacifist. And then Borderlands 2 happened when she went to go hunt a vault. Which this is a spoiler for the second game if you guys haven't played it. Really good fun game. You guys need to go play it. When she stopped Jack from using the warrior to kill all life on Pandora. Then she went back to Athenas in the Tales of Borderlands in that timeline. And we don't talk about the pre-sequel. That's a rule in the Borderlands community. So I'm not going to even talking about that. What else? So we go to, what is it? The building, and Tina is like, "Can I set traps?" And she goes, "No. You gotta at least let your brother in." And she goes, "Fine, I'll deal with the freaking engine boy." And she goes, "Yes, you can deal with Vroom Vroom guy." And Tina starts to giggle, and she goes, "That's what I like." And Maya hugs Tina, going, "You're mine." And Tina goes, "Yeah, I know. And these are mine." And she pulls up the puppy and the teapot. And she goes, "Yeah, I know. I don't want those. I want you." She goes, "Okay." So Maya does have Tyrene's ability, by the way. So, yeah. She does have Tyrene's ability. But she doesn't know she has it. So, yeah. What else? So Tyrene's ability. So Bakugo walks into the room and he hears a bang. It's not just any kind of bang. It's like someone just punched a metal wall kind of bang. And he just hears bang, bang, bang. Bang, bang, bang. Bang, bang, bang. Like somebody's punching a wall in a succession of fours. And he walks into a certain room where the banging's coming from, and he sees a metal table. And he sees someone's fingers tapping. He's, "Ah, crap." And she goes, "You know you love fighting me. Especially after you call me a damn extra." He goes, No, I don't. And I didn't call you a damn extra. I called my potential opponents a damn extra. You're not an opponent. You're going to crush me like the," and I'm quoting you, angry Pomeranian I am." And she goes, "Yeah. You're the cocky hare. I'm the tortoise." And he goes, "Oh, God, not that expression again." And she goes, "Yeah, that expression again." Yes. And so she gets up and she cracks her knuckles again for dramatic effect. And she channels her inner brick. And Baku goes, "Oh, crap, you're in brick mode again." And she goes, "Yeah. You insulted Tina. obviously I'm going to punch you before I talk to you. Fully. And he goes, ah, crap. Anybody knows that reference? You're a true Borderlands fan if you know that reference. I'll punch him. Brick, we need to talk to him. No, I'll punch him. Yeah, it's Brick. So she disappears with her speed because she's been practicing speed. Amara is literally a speed demon when she's not when she's in siren mode, which Maya is. And she appears in front of Bakugo and slams him in the gut. And he coughs up saliva and the mucus on the back of your throat, because it's always covered in mucus because your sinuses are technically always draining because of gravity. And he goes, oh, crap. And she slams him in the gut again. And Ida tries walking in the room, and he gets a pinprick on his suit. And she goes, dang it. I turned the power down too much. And then it goes poof, like a big sonic boom. And he gets flying out of the building. Back first. And she goes, never mind. I actually turned it up way too much. And she looks at the puppy and turns a few knobs and turns another few knobs. And he goes, okay, there we go. First explosion. Good. Second explosion. Great. And so he walks back into the building like, oh, crap, what was that? And she goes, fun. And he goes, dun, 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 with the gun. And he gets hit by every single one of them. And it's pushing him back. All of a sudden, the first one goes off. And they all get sent at him. All the secondary explosions go... One of the first secondary explosions go towards him. Or blows up. The secondary explosions all go at him. And he gets launched clear across the city, knocked out. And she goes, yay! Wait, where is he? And Maya starts laughing, being like, you kind of sent him across the city. And she goes, aw, I thought he could take half the mag. I only put a quarter of the mag in him. And she goes, only I can withstand half the mag without being knocked out, Tina. And she goes, oh yeah, true. You do have that overpowered freaking shield. And she goes, yeah. And he goes, oh, you have the shield on? And she goes, yeah. Why do you ask? And he goes, no reason. And he cracks his knuckles and he goes, AP shot. And he shoots directly in her face. Directly in her face. Like a millimeter away from her face. Because he's fast in this one. Because part bunny. Fast. Speed. Could jump high. Duh. And she gets hit by every single one of those. Her head is leaning back at this point from the force of the explosion. And she looks at him and is pissed the frick off. She lost one eyebrow. That's it. She lost one eyebrow. And her tattoos start glowing rainbow. Black, white, blue, green, yellow. Yellow again. Or more of a golden yellow. So kinetic, radiation, cryo, shock, corrosive, purple, I forgot purple, slag. And she goes, you ready? And he goes, oh crap, I shouldn't have done AP shot. I should have done howitzer impact. And she goes, nah, you should have gone full power. And she slams him right in the gut, sending him up through the building and right back down where he was. And she goes, aw, little brother can't take much. And Tina runs over being like, Bakugo. Or she'd be like, Katsuki, you need to get up. And he goes, give me a minute. Oh God. and he's breathing hard because he can't really breathe because he just got slammed in the gut. He has slag. He has radiation. He has corrosive on his gear because she isn't going to be that mean and kind of corrode his insides. Corrosive on his gear. He has frostbite on that spot because it's going to go away. And he has burns on that spot. He has freezer burns and normal burns. And he just got 2 million volts sent through him. So he's kind of hurt. But that also shows you how overpowered I'm making Bakugo. Because he could take all that and still go strong. And he's immune to explosions. So the explosion didn't really do anything. Any mothers? No. So he just took all those. And he knows the purple effect on his gut. Because he feels it. And it feels 3 times harder than normal. And he goes, oh crap, she slagged me. And he gets up and he's holding his gut. And they just see this purple dripping off his stomach. And they all go, what just happened? And All Might sees the purple dripping and he's like, oh crap. And All Might says that she has a specific ability called slag. If she hits somebody in that same spot over and over, the slag effect works. And this effect makes her really stupid strong. And he shows an injury and says, this injury hurts. And he takes out a little vial and says, this is slag. And he pours it on the injury. And he starts grinding his teeth. And he looks pissed off because of how much it hurts. And they go, oh. That must hurt a lot. And he goes, yeah, it does. I'll be back. And he jumps off to Recovery Girl. And he deflates. And he shows Recovery Girl. And she goes, God dang it, All Might. This is the last of my cleaner. Don't do it again. He goes, I had to show them. Ugh, pain tolerance training. And she goes, oh, so you want it to stay there? And he goes, no, thank you. And he's gritting his teeth. And she goes, fine. And she throws the last bit of cleaning solution she has that will deactivate slag. And he goes, thank you. And he's breathing heavy. Because when the Nomu punt got him in the side, when he started bleeding from his side, it's 10 times worse than that. That's how much pain he felt. So he kind of hurts at this very moment. And so Maya's like, just give up. You're not going to be able to take another one. And he goes, all right, take another goddamn punch from you. Damn weakling. And she hears it and goes, who are you calling a weakling? He goes, you. My sister's just an explosive freak. And she hears freak on Tina and she goes, you did not just say that to your own sister. And she's seething with rage now because she's overprotective of Tina. She's really overprotective of Tina. And he goes, oh, crap, I did it again. He goes, yes, I did call her a freak. But she's my family. So calling each other's freaks is what we do. And she's like, true. But you're still not supposed to do it. It's impolite. He goes, I know. And he turns to Tina and he says, I'm sorry. And he turns back to Maya and says, do it. And so she cocks back her arm and goes, farewell. And slams him in the face. And his head goes sideways. And he falls down, passed out. And she goes, oh, crap. I forgot it that I didn't refill Recover Girl's supply of the cleaner. And Tina goes, oh, yeah. I kind of made a instant cleaner for you. And she goes, what? She goes, yeah. It's explosive, though. She goes, yeah. Is it a grenade? And Tina goes, yeah. And she's like, I call it a singularity. And she goes, ooh. what does it do? And she goes, it sucks in all the slag and cleans it. And Maya goes, so what do you need to make it? And she goes, I got 2 done. I'll need your help to make more. And she goes, done. How do we make it? And Tina goes, we'll make it later. Here's the singularity. And she drops it on the ground and it lands on the bottom. And it immediately sucks in all the slag. It raises to a certain height. And the slag just goes everywhere. Mist. A fine mist. And the slag dissipates in the air. And she goes, so it's not going to hurt anything like that. And she goes, no. It's too dissipated to actually hurt anybody. Like that. And she points to the mist and she goes, okay, good. Want to have some fun later? And Tina goes, explosions? And she goes, no, not that kind of fun. And Tina goes, yeah. So I'm going to end it off there. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. I definitely enjoy making this one. I'm going to redo my Psycho Krieg one. I feel like I can make it better now. Because all the what ifs I've done, I've been learning from. So hopefully you guys can tell me what I can do better in the Psycho Krieg version. Or maybe make an Axon Roland Wilhelm kind of one. Or tell me what other Vault Hunters in the Borderlands series, if you've played in the Borderlands series, you want me to do. Because I enjoy making the Vault Hunters. I made a what if Deku was Krieg. I didn't like it very much. Mainly because I didn't know how to do this one good. So, if you guys like this, please subscribe if you like my content. If you guys don't like my content, then you don't have to watch it. But if you like my content, please subscribe. It would do a great service to me. And it would help me get to 1,000 subscribers so I can make a choose your own what if. I have a video on my channel that explains a choose your own what if. So if you guys like this episode, go check out the other ones, and hopefully you can't find my Krieg's what if, because I don't like it. And it's a very bad showing of my skills. So please consider liking, subscribing, and leaving a comment. It telling me what I could do better, if anything. Unless you thought this was God's work, and then you're just lying to yourself. Because I suck. I can admit that. I suck. But, like I said earlier, if you guys like my content, please consider subscribing. If you guys enjoy my content that much, consider hitting the like button. It'll turn blue if you're not on dark mode, which if you're on dark mode, it'll turn white. And comment your favorite thing about Maya, the Borderlands waifu. So, talk to you guys later.